Hi everybody, before we actually start this great episode of the Groomer Next Door, let me just tell you about Squarespace.com. Squarespace.com has lots of options for you to build your own website. It's fast, it's easy, and it's really cheap to do each month. We put our website together, took us very few minutes to do so, and you can always look at it if you want to see what we've done at thegroomer.nextdoor.squarespace.com. That website took us all of probably a couple days, and of course, we didn't actually stop, work on it for hours, and then go back, work on it for hours like a lot of websites. We did it very quickly over a very, easy weekend, and it was a real easy trial. And by the time we were done with, I think 4 days of our trial, we ended up saying, you know what, we're gonna actually go for it. So it's very simple. You can go with the simple personal plan at $8 a month. Gives you pretty much everything you need. 20 pages, you can have a gallery, a blog. You get 500 gigs of bandwidth, 2 gigs of storage. It's really good. Then you can actually, if you want to actually upgrade, you can go to the professional plan, which is $16 a month. Gives you unlimited pages, galleries, blogs with unlimited storage, bandwidth, and contributors. It actually will help out as well for a lot of other reasons. You can sell up to 20 products on that page, which is awesome. So if you have a small business, this is a great way of starting. And then, of course, if you have a full up running business and you really want to actually start to push it out there, you go for the business plan. It's just $24 a month. It will give you unlimited pages, galleries, blogs, unlimited storage, bandwidth, and contributors. This way, you can actually have a full integrated e-commerce, sell unlimited products, real-time carrier shipping, label printing, you name it, it pretty much will do it. And of course, there's so many templates to start with, and then you can customize from there. It is so easy. So, give it a trial. Go over squarespace.com, do the simple trial. I guarantee you'll be loving it before the trial runs out. Well, that's my little spiel. Now on to our show.
Welcome to the Groomer Next Door. You're listening to my mommy and daddy.
And now our feature presentation.
Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 30. Wow, almost said 20 something. Wow. Episode 30 of the Groomer Next Door. I'm your co-host, Chris Green. Sitting next to me, as always, is the lovely Sarah.
Hello.
And, hey little one, you want to say hi?
Yes.
Alright, well I guess Claire's not going to say hi. She's,
Hi!
There you go. Alright. Well, we are going to talk about declawing cats. And, it's funny, it came up the other day. We had somebody come in, they wanted to talk about it because they had a cat. You want to jump in on this one? This was your story. I was just in the other room.
I'm one of the only, I think I am the only groomer in Rolla that grooms cats. So I finally, after a while, got my first person that was bringing in a cat. It was a person that adopted this cat, and I noticed the cat was a little more agitated than what normal cats would be. And the first thing any groomer does when grooming a cat is you make sure that you trim the cat's nails. First thing. Safely.
Now here's a good question. Why first? A lot of people might ask that question.
Yeah. Well, I've had people come in saying, well, my cat's an outdoor cat. Please don't trim the front nails because that's their first line of defense. Well, exactly. It's their first line of defense. Human skin is so fragile that one good swipe from the cat's nails can do a load of damage. Can give you cat scratch fever, can get infection.
Boy, I wish I had that song, Cat Scratch Fever.
It can give you a staph infection. I don't care about scars myself. I got plenty of scars from doing aggressive dogs. But it can leave pretty nasty scars for a very long time. So the first thing you do is trim the nails. Well, I noticed with this kitty, I pick up its paw and I start touching its elbow. And sure enough, the cat was declawed. I'm like, okay, 99% of cats are declawed in the front paws. So I was like, okay, time to trim the back ones, because even though the back ones tend not to be as sharp as the first one, they can still use their back paws to kick off you. I made that mistake one time. I scruffed a cat, which means grabbing the hair that's in between their shoulders and part of their neck, so that they're immobilized. Well, I made the mistake on the second cat I have ever groomed, and I forgot to trim the back nails.
Oh,
Held it
man.
too close to my body, and it pushed off my stomach. I had some nice claw marks on my stomach. It was awesome.
Edward Scissorhand or
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger?
Yeah, there was kind of like a total of 6. So he didn't give me all of his claws.
So
but
mostly Freddy Krueger then?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. So as I continue doing this cat, notice the back paws were declawed too. And that's when I stopped, and I just knew from the get-go, this is not going to be an easy groom. Some cats kind of just give up after a while. And you got some cats that fight. You got the whole fight or flight. Well, luckily, this kitty wasn't too upset with me. And we got the wash, we got the blow dry done. Go figure that one.
Now, we're talking about the cat on Friday.
Yes.
Okay. I just want everybody to understand we're back to the Friday cat,
Exactly.
not the other cat.
And I was talking to a lady. They just adopted this cat. They only had it for about a week. The skin was in pretty bad condition. He was real oily. He started to mat up in certain places. So I wanted to speak to the lady about proper food for the kitty, because the way the fat hung and the skin hung,
Yeah, it was weird.
it popped out the bones. You just felt straight bones.
You did.
But the cat was super heavy.
Yeah, it was sagging. It was
exactly.
like the whole body was sagging into the ground.
The best way to describe the way this cat was, it's kind of like a cow. You see the cow's hip pops up, and it bows in there, but yet they got this huge belly. That's kind of like what it was. So
Are you calling me fat again? You're calling me fat again.
I'm not calling you a cow.
Okay. Well,
Anywho.
that's better than most days.
So I wanted to speak to her about, cat food. And I told her to switch to higher grade cat food. And, we have Taste of the Wild River Canyon cat food that's really good and extremely popular where we're at. Keith has to buy it almost every week. That's how popular it is.
It goes so quick.
Oh, yeah.
And so many bags are there, and they're just gone.
So we started talking, and she said they adopted the cat this way. I said, okay, well, have you ever seen the cat pee outside of its box? Yeah. I think it's because she gets in trouble or something. I explained to her very nicely that...
Well, she probably said, didn't she say she also does it out of spite? She thinks she does it out of spite as well.
Exactly. And I told the lady, cats don't pee out of spite. They don't think because you got after them, they're going to go and, pee on your bed.
Yeah, they're not vengeful like that.
No, they're going to go... Well, start here. The reason most cats will not go in a box with regular litter after being declawed is that it hurts. And I'm talking about after the recovery. Once you did the special paper cat litter, because you can't let anything get into the stitches or into the wounds. You have to use a special litter. Well, after declawing, you still need a special litter.
And here's something a lot of people don't understand, is that you do need that special litter. And why is that?
Because it hurts them.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't understand. I declawed my cat. I went and paid the money. I declawed my cat.
That's going to save me all the hassle. I don't have any more hassle to do.
I don't have to ever trim their front nails. Ever. They're not going to ever scratch me.
Let me, before we go even further on the declaw thing, it's not that we're saying we're pro or con against declawing. That is up to the owner. You know, we're not going to tell you you're right, you're wrong. We're going to stay right in the middle on this one.
I can say what I prefer.
Prefer, yes. I mean, I
prefer
can see
to
it.
groom a cat with its nails.
Yeah.
I prefer that because when a cat gets its nails, you know, not that they're nails, it's actually a nail and knuckle, and tendons and nerves. So it's not like they're pulling the nail out. They're actually cutting pieces off.
Well, they're taking an actual piece of finger as well. Yeah.
An actual knuckle of the cat.
Yep.
Gets cut out.
Yep.
So, a lot of cats do not fare very well.
Actually, it changes their demeanor. I can speak on. I'll tell my story in a moment.
So, I told the lady, you got to get a different litter. I said, look at Walmart, since Walmart's the closest thing to big box pet store that we have here for supplies. I'll never shop there for dog food, but supplies like a brush, cat toys, stuff like that. But I know Arm & Hammer has a special cat litter that is made up of seeds and stuff like that. It's pretty natural. I think it's called Essential. You can use something like that. I know there's another cat litter out there that's called Sweet.
Yep. That's the only thing.
Something.
Yeah, you'd have to Google it.
Yeah,
I
they
know.
sell it at other big box pet stores, but it's spelled
SWHEAT.
Yeah.
S
wheat, because it is a wheat based.
Of
cat
course,
litter.
you know, shredded newspaper is still, you can still use it
But
if you're
you
going
still
to do
want
that.
something with odor control,
Yep.
I would go with one of those.
Non-granulated
Yeah.
litter is guaranteed. That's the only thing that you need to know is you have to be non-granulated.
If your cat is declawed and still pees everywhere or, you know, poos everywhere, it's because when they use their paws to cover up the stank.
I like that. I like that. That's good. That's
it's natural
very good.
for them to use their paws and scoop it over. It's not natural to have their knuckles cut off.
No. And it's going to be painful forever.
Oh,
now,
yes.
you know, another thing that, just so you guys know, if this happens to you, if your cat does actually do its business on the floor and it's not declawed, it's probably because you actually have to clean the litter box. Some cats are very fussy. You may be on day 3 and you may have those crystals, and it just may be too much in there for it, and it wants a clean box or the floor. So there's a little piece of knowledge for you people. If you do have that problem, you're probably saying, why is my cat? Well, my cat's not declawed. Why is it still go to the bathroom? It's just you have to change the litter box even more than normal.
Well, see, we have 2 cats.
Yep.
And I liked how you verified that. Yep.
Yep.
So
Sorry, I'm scratching. You know, it's funny.
I'm getting bit up to
I am too. You know,
nowhere
when we sit in McDonald's or Panera or wherever we're recording, we don't get bit up, but we
don't
come
get eaten
out
up by
here.
mosquitoes.
Yeah, you know, actually, why don't you put that up here?
No, it's protecting my feet.
Oh, okay. Let's
I
protect
got
you.
exposed legs here, homie.
Okay, I'm actually a buffet over here. It's okay. It's okay.
And?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to call out at work tomorrow.
You're right.
I know, right?
Not with all the dogs that we have.
I know.
Anywho, so with Mama Kitty and Callie, Callie is very particular about her litter.
Oh, she's a fussy little princess.
I got tired of scooping. I know you got tired of scooping.
I did.
So we actually broke down and bought
No. Not a true story, folks. Here's the thing. I get on a plane. I travel around the world last year. And I kid you not. I would say the first day or 2 that I was able to talk to her, because when I left, I was gone for a day and a half before I could even talk to her. I actually hear from her, and she goes, "Oh, by the way, I picked up new litter. I don't like that crap you use," which I didn't use bad stuff. The stuff I used
we
wasn't
used
bad.
like that super clumping
Yeah,
cat litter.
it was good stuff, and it
odor eliminated.
Oh yeah, I mean, big old heavy powdery, you know, that box. I can't even think what it's
I'm
called.
looking in our garage, and right now I see 2,
Tiny
4,
cat,
6,
that's what it
8,
was.
10, 12, 13, 14, 15 buckets of cat litter.
Yeah.
But I cleaned them out, and they're used
Yeah,
for
they're
storage.
not. There's not any kind of poo in there.
No, but
it's actually a good
that's
place
how
to
much
put kid toys.
we had to deal with Callie. We had to constantly scoop,
Yes.
constantly scoop.
You would scoop every
when
day.
When Chris went over to overseas, I was nowhere near had the time.
That is true, and I can understand
scoop.
that. I can understand it. But it was just funny the way she did it. It was, oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah, by the way,
I got the crystals. And I was like, oh.
No, it was Fresh Step crystals.
Yeah. And it had just come out,
and
I
they're
think, or something like that.
$3 more for...
$3? Are you kidding me?
No, it's $4 more for like 20 pounds less.
But yeah, 20 pounds less, that's right, yeah. It's like I could buy a dump truck of cat litter for less than what you're spending for those. Oh, it's like, are you kidding me? I get it. It does work.
Well, it's because, if you follow the bag's instruction, it says 2 cats can go 1 week.
Which is true. They can. We did test it.
But if you do not clean that
right on the week,
right on the same day, Callie will go outside her litter.
Yes, she will find a spot and just hunker down.
It's not spite. It's that cats want to be clean too, just like us humans. We don't want to live in swaller.
That's true.
You don't want to go in the bathroom in the same spot every time just to step on more turds.
Well, no, that's another story though. There are people who actually don't flush their toilet every time because they're saving money on water.
Yeah, this is an extreme cheapskate. So.
I know, but I thought I would just reference it. Well, let me. Are you done with your part?
No.
I am so sorry.
So, the lady said I would have never thought of getting different litter and helping the cat with its claws or its paws. Now, the poor cat had a double whammy, the front and back. I didn't have any chance of that cat scratching me, but cats can grab a hold with their paws, and they're very strong. They can pull themselves to you, and there's their teeth right on your hand. And you're done for.
Or here, I'll say it like you like. Yup.
Yup. So, talking to this lady, I went up and told Chris, I'm like, hey, we should do a podcast about this. Bringing up and, letting people know, hey, if you're ever thinking about declawing your cats, you might want to think again.
Well, and again, I mean, we're going to give you fact. We're not going to give you, this is the right way or this is the right way. We're going to give you facts. We're going to let you hear a clip in a moment. And I'm going to tell you a story about my grandmother's cat, and kind of give you some ideas. And I'll make my story really quick. As Sarah knows, I had a cat. Gosh, I guess my mom and I got her 98, I think it was. 1998, I picked up this kitten. It was a really adorable cat, feisty. Which, boy, did she ever turn out to be really feisty. Good cat for the most part, but wasn't really the friendly kind of cat. Not the I'm going to sit on you and love you and purr. I don't think this cat can purr. Well, we couldn't keep the cat because the place we lived, they didn't like animals, and it was one of those things. So my grandmother took the cat. And, my grandmother still to this day has the cat. She's had it for a while.
Can I interject real quick?
Go ahead.
Now remember, too, folks, this is before Chris knew as much as he does about animals now than before.
Very much so.
If you knew now, or if you knew then what you know now, you probably wouldn't have gotten the cat because you knew you couldn't keep it.
Well, yeah, no,
you want to make sure people understand if you can't afford it or your place won't allow it, don't get the animal because you're just going to have to rehome it.
Well, actually, where we lived, other people had animals. That was the irony, is people had small dogs or they had cats of their own. They had birds. So it wasn't as if this place didn't allow it. It just all of a sudden became this new rule.
Oh,
and it was a small little house.
I hate complexes like that.
Oh,
my
well,
gosh.
That place was bizarre in its own right. I mean, you had to follow different rules, and they were fine to some degree, but some things were just crazy bad. Well, okay. So, anywho, it was like, okay, well, we got the cat. We had it for about a year.
Yeah, we had that part.
Oh, yeah, we had it for a while. It wasn't like it was just like 5 days. No, we had it for a long time. And, the cat was spunky. Mm-hmm. She liked to jump on the screen door. Yeah.
I had a cat do that too.
And she climbed all the way to the top.
And they look like, oh crap, how am I getting down?
Yeah, and she damaged the screen door, which we had to replace, but, it was one of those things. So when we found out that we had to get rid of the cat, again, it was one of those things, like, well, everybody else has an animal, but, what are you going to do? It's either you get evicted and everybody's on the street, or you find a home, and a good home, for your animal if that happens. Well, my grandmother was like, well, I'm all alone and this will help. Even though she's only lived down the street from us and we saw her all the time, it was one of those things. It's like, okay, well, we'll give you the cat. Well, the two of them have been inseparable ever since, and it was a great fit. The cat kind of grumpy, but whatever. My grandmother decided that she was going to get Paws. Yes, I named my cat Paws. Paws. She has paws. I figured it was just appropriate. Anyways, she decided to get her declawed in the front. It really did mess her up. Deformities. They actually really messed up the front of her paws.
Yeah, because like doctors, veterinarians, not all veterinarians graduate top of their class. Your favorite line.
My favorite line.
So
sorry if we have any doctors who are listening to the show, which I know we don't. But if we do have a doctor who's listening, you probably are. No, I know you're laughing because you're like, yeah, we don't all graduate top of our class.
So you never know. It's like taking a dog in to get their ears cut and cropped when they're young. That's another story we'll go into another time. But some veterinarians don't crop them right and end up making a horrible botched job. So that can happen too at the same time with getting declawed.
Oh, wow. I'm just looking at my arm. I have 6 bites right now. Oh, I'm going to itch a lot tonight.
I got 4 right now.
Well, that's going to be fun. What we don't sacrifice for you, the listeners. This is what we're doing for you. We're getting bit by bugs in the Midwest. Boy, we love our listeners. We do.
Yes.
As I'm a buffet right now. Anyway, the cat, she never did come out the way she went in. And no pun intended, folks. Her personality did change a lot. It was one of those things, she was, we had her spaded, and that usually is a good thing for a cat, but I think the declaw really affected her mentality. And of course, you're taking away a part of her. Not the fact that it hurts like no other. I'm pretty sure that really hurt. For me, I would never declaw a cat again. If I knew then what I know now, I would have talked my grandmother out of it. Our 2 cats, they're not declawed, and I wouldn't declaw them.
Yeah, I was going to tell a story after we shared the soundbite.
Do you want me to put the soundbite on now?
Yeah.
All right, folks. You know what? I'm going to actually put the soundbite. This is a veterinarian. She's going to actually talk about her opinion. Now, like always, everybody's allowed to have an opinion. It can go either way. You can judge for yourself. So, hold on, folks, and enjoy.
Hi, this is Dr. Karen Becker, and today we're going to discuss declawing. Declawing is a surgery that involves amputating the first joint of a cat's toes. The surgery is painful, permanent, expensive, and irreversible. I believe if most cat owners really understood what was occurring during a declaw, they would never choose to do it for their pets. First, we recognize that cats are digigrade, which means they walk on their toes. Most other mammals, like humans, walk on the soles of their feet. Cats' claws are used for balance, exercising, stretching, and toning the muscles in their legs, back, shoulders, and paws, not to mention hunting for food, as well as escaping predators and marking behavior if the cat lives outdoors. Contrary to most people's beliefs, declawing consists of amputation of the last phalanx, including bones, ligaments, and tendons. This is not a nail trim or nail removal. It's the removal of the claw, bone, nerve, joint capsule, collateral ligaments, and the extensor and flexor tendons. Amputation of the third phalanx, or the first toe bone that houses the nail, drastically alters the conformation of the feet, which can lead to a whole host of physical complications such as chronic small bone arthritis, degenerative joint disease, and neuralgia. But equally as devastating are the emotional complications. Commonly, post-declaw personality changes can be observed stemming from the insecurities of losing their primary instinctual defense mechanism. Cats can become nervous, fearful, and aggressive, oftentimes resorting to their last remaining means of defense, which are their teeth. Other declawed cats can no longer mark with their claws, and they use urine as a marking mechanism around the house, which can result in inappropriate elimination problems. Defenseless, most declawed cats resort to finding elevated perches like the countertop or refrigerator versus resting confidently on the ground. The main reason pet owners request declaws is concerned over their home furnishings, and the main reason veterinarians perform them is because they're afraid that owners will become abusive or neglectful if damage occurs to people's homes. Because there are a ton of risks and no actual benefits to cats themselves, the procedure has been outlawed in many European countries and is a hot topic of debate in many local jurisdictions in our country as well. I believe in the motto, educate, don't amputate. The humane solution to undesirable scratching is providing sensible options for cats. I teach my kitten owners that cats have claws and they'll absolutely use them. Just as I have to trim my nails weekly, you may need to end up trimming your cat's nails very frequently. In addition to weekly nail trims, I also suggest owners provide at least 2 different scratching surfaces. One is a tall, sturdy scratching post, as well as a horizontal scratching mat. My cats prefer a sisal doormat, as well as a log I brought in from the outside. My cats also love a commercially available cardboard paper scratcher. In addition to providing cats an appropriate surface to scratch, cat owners need to recognize that areas that cats are scratching inappropriately should be covered with either aluminum foil or double-sided tape. You can also consider covering your cat's nails with a commercially available nail cap to prevent furniture from being damaged.
Well, I hope that was informative. I mean, I found it informative. Of course, I always like to hear what somebody who's in that kind of line of work, what their opinion is. Doesn't always mean it's my opinion, but I like to hear it. So,
Most definitely. We don't have the most snuggly kitties.
Mama Kitty can be very snuggly when she wants to be.
Yes, but it's few and far between. My dogs love me 24/7. I just look at them, Katana, and my Kita's up and in my face.
Yeah.
Mama Kitty just comes to you whenever she feels.
Well, she'll jump on you, walk on you, and then jump off of you, and that's her way of saying, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey, what's up? I know you're here, and then walk away.
Yep.
But with Claire, we've had the cat since Claire was about 2.5, too.
No, longer. Actually,
was it about a year and a half?
She was, I think she was about a year and a half, because it was our first year here.
So she's it was a year and a half to 2 years old.
Yeah, because Elizabeth actually lived here at the time.
Any kind of kitty, kids are going to go for. Well, it was a lot of scratching. No biting, though. The cat's never bit. But a lot of scratching.
Yeah.
Swatting at Claire and such.
It could be a little... I mean, we would... Oh, gosh, it was like refereeing. It was WWE between Claire and those cats.
And all Claire wanted to do is just to hold them and snuggle with them. But, Mama Kitty didn't want to snuggle.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you guys ever saw Tiny Toon Adventures, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, you'll get this line. You remember Elmira, how she was, I'll love them and squeeze them and keep them for my very own? That's Claire. And that's with every animal. I can imagine she sees a snake around, she'll run after it, grab it, pick it up, and squeeze it.
So. She screams. So we had to make sure to teach her to not touch the cats and to leave them alone. You can pet them, but you can't pick them up. So through a painful lessons.
Luckily, I never got her eye.
Yeah, I got underneath her eye once.
Oh, that's scary.
Because she wanted to bury her face in the kitty's belly because the kitty's belly is just so soft.
They are pretty soft.
And then we didn't get Callie as a kitten. Even though Callie was born on your lap, my brother, who is just a
Yeah. I was gonna
POS
say,
person,
don't say was.
he's a terrible person. I had to forcefully take his dog from him, and forcefully take the cats from him. So we didn't get Callie at the baby. We couldn't hold her. We couldn't, you know, train Claire, train the cat. We
It would
couldn't
have
do
been
anything like
so
that.
much better to be able to get Callie at stage 1.
Exactly, but we couldn't. So Callie was already. She is attitude to the max.
She's the valley girl, blonde hair,
Oh, come on.
very cute girl, sweet looking, but real grumpy kind of.
Kind of like
girl.
Monsters University, that one female university. They're all cute and preppy, and then they're
Hiss.
no.
Isn't it the
No,
hiss?
it's a different one.
Oh,
So,
well.
anywho,
Sorry,
off
we're
topic
gonna
here.
just go off on another.
So, it is a long process. Claire still wants to pet the cats. Claire wants to love on them properly. She knows how to now. But she just wants to pet them, and they swat at her. Well, okay, I'm not going to get rid of 2 cats because they swat at my child, as long as it doesn't get violent where the cat bites. And then we'll have to think about another alternative.
Well, if the cat starts to bite, that would be a new trade, and then there would be a lot of other questions.
At the beginning.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
So, it has never crossed our mind to declaw our cat because our child wants to stay away from them. We will never get our cats declawed for 2 great facts or reasons. One, it's absolutely painful, just like the vet says. It takes off their knuckle, not just their nail. It's unnatural for them to not have their claws. You know, they can't stabilize them. You might as well shave off their whiskers every day.
There's just so many reasons.
Exactly. Well, another reason is if the cat gets out. All right, it's out. Mama Kitty got out the other day, and
which is so funny because we're those people that are very careful with our animals, and in the entire time we've never had an animal get out. They've never wanted to. Mama Kitty did get out. We could not catch her.
Well, so the next day she came back to the house and we let her in, but Mama Kitty has her claws.
Yeah.
So she can defend herself while out. We do not put collars on our cats because if they get out, yes, there are some breakaway collars, but sometimes they don't break away soon enough.
Yep.
So our cats don't even have collars. Microchipping,
we've never had the problem. I mean, Callie has come out to the front yard, and this is a big, scary world. I don't want to go out, and she runs right back in the house.
Yeah. So I mean, if Mama Kitty makes it very difficult to keep her inside, well, okay, we'll go get her microchip, and double check her shot records.
Mm-hmm. Actually, she's up to date.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I can't remember.
I remember last year I did Callie. No, it was late last year.
Yeah, because
for Callie.
For Spade. Now, if you let a cat out that's declawed, or if it gets out, and an attacker comes their way, they have no other means of protection other than their mouth.
And when you think of an attacker, we're not talking about a person. We're talking about a raccoon or another animal.
Wildlife.
Yeah, another cat.
Exactly.
So many things. So, it's just something to think about. If anybody is thinking about getting their cat declawed, here's a few ideas. Here's your pros and cons. I don't think we actually gave a pro.
Well, you won't have the scratching problem. You don't have to deal with getting the nails trimmed. There's only 2 that I can think of.
The best, I mean, the vet said it, but I'm going to, say it as well, not making it my own, but it's the reality here. There are many different things to give your cat ability to scratch. They don't need the furniture. The furniture is just there if they don't have anything else. I mean, we get those cardboard, they're the cat toys, The cardboard thing where the cat actually could scratch into. You put the catnip in it. Oh my goodness!
Or they go bonkers.
We actually have one that has kind of like that kitty upright thing, so it fits right inside. That really does a lot. Unfortunately, it makes a mess, but your furniture's not ripped up. I mean, we don't have holes in our furniture. We have never had a hole put into our furniture by the cat. The cats aren't looking to do that.
The one thing that cats love to do is go to our computer chair, which we have a nice leather. We had a nice leather computer chair.
That's right.
That is now a bit tore up, but that was also before we got the scratching post.
Yeah.
Now another thing for declawed cats, if you've already adopted it or you already had it done and didn't quite know the outcome of what could happen. Some veterinarians might not tell you because they want their money.
I would actually hope that a vet could actually sit down. Not sit down, but give you some...
There's shysters everywhere, so you never know.
Yeah, there's good and bad in every profession.
Exactly. You got some really, rude, mean, violent groomers. And you got the ones like me.
Well, we've seen all kinds of professions, and it's funny is that you can really say that about anything.
Yep.
I mean, you could be an actor, you could be a pro athlete, you could be a doctor, you could be a vet, you could be a groomer. There are good and bad in everyone.
So if the cat's already declawed, or if you already had it declawed...
Wait, can we just talk about people that we actually, came in contact with, the good and the bad? No? Oh. I had a couple from, okay,
there's
whatever.
Toys out there for the cats that are declawed, too. I was looking them up online, and the number one most chosen toy for a cat that is declawed would be the feather wands.
Yes.
With the soft feathers, no beating, no hard anything. It's just soft feathers, and they can bat around because it's not going to hurt them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, if you already have a cat that's declawed and you're looking for things, easily just Google. I mean, that's a good way. We're fortunate enough. We've got some knowledge in this firsthand, and just going through the motions. If you have any questions, as always, I mean, I always put this out. If you have any questions, you can always Facebook message me. That seems to be the choice, I guess you could say. There's also, you can go to the Groomer Next Door at yahoo.com. You can drop me an email. If you have any things that you do, we like to compile all this stuff for later dates, and then we'll come up with them. But, it's just one of those things. I don't know.
And if you do have a cat that is declawed, front or back, both, make sure you tell the groomer if you take the cat to a groomer.
That would be always helpful.
Because I made that cat very mad because I had to pick up the paw.
Yeah.
And to make sure the cat is declawed, you have to look at the whole, all the nails in the one paw. You can't just look at one. Sometimes there's a deformity, the nail never grew in. So you gotta check all of them to make sure they're all gone.
Yeah.
And then same thing with the back. So I had to do that to both, or the front and the back to the cat. Which, if the owner would have told me that the cat was declawed first, I would have saved that cat some discomfort. And probably wouldn't have been as mad as quickly.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, here's the first rule here of being in grooming. You don't make the animal upset.
You try not to. I mean, some animals are just going to get mad.
People
like,
people get mad for nothing.
I'm wet. Oh my gosh. The world's coming to an end.
I'm wet. Why? I love that expression you get from them when you get them wet. That, why are you doing this to me?
You get that grumpy cat look. Like,
really?
The things
really?
I can do to your jugular.
Have you been watching Walking Dead? Yeah, I can do that. Wow.
I'm going to get you.
So,
you better be quicker than that.
So, now we'll move on to another topic. Again, so fortunate. We have so many great listeners. I mean, we have reached the 6,000 mark and climbing. That to me is just so amazing. February 1st, I think, was our initial day where we actually dropped our first episode.
I remember telling you once you came up to us, why not us? We like seals. Clerks 2.
Yeah, if you know Clerks 2 and you know the line, then you'll know the joke. If you don't, well, we can't say it all.
We like seals and stuff. I was like, well, we can try it, but
I just
who's
remember-
going to listen to us?
I just remember looking at you and Keith going, oh my gosh, I got an idea. It was the first one I ever had. So it was amazing. I was very proud of myself.
Yeah.
I had a big boy thought. So, thank you guys. I mean, it's just amazing that every day I see the
Turn
numbers.
me into a liar. Who's going to want to listen to us?
Actually, I just was going over our ratings last night of every episode with Sarah, and Sarah's just kind of looking at me like, really? Yeah.
I'm still proud of the Steve Gray.
Episode
officers.
16? Yeah,
I mean,
episode 16.
if you guys haven't heard it yet, I know some people will listen to this out of order, but if you haven't listened to episode 16 yet, listen to it. It was awesome. I wish I had a little better questions to ask him, but that was the first time I was starstruck, honestly.
Okay, let's be realistic, though. When you're sitting in a police station and you've never been in one before for any reason,
True.
And you're sitting there and there's two men with guns, it's a little bit.
The whole time I was like, do I get to meet Rocco? Do I get to meet Rocco? I was sitting there rocking.
And of course, we had a camera on us the whole time.
Yeah, that wasn't weird.
Yeah, it was a little. The pressure was on. I'm not gonna lie, the pressure was on.
So anyhow,
so yeah,
please go listen to that episode. I was so proud of it. We had 200 and some views on that one
yeah,
alone.
Yeah, just that one alone. Of course, our counter is a little off because our counter didn't start clicking for like 2 or 3 weeks.
And it's not counting the people who view it on iTunes either.
I don't think it does.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
I have no idea. It's bizarre. But throughout all the websites, all the Facebook pages, Twitter, all the places that I'm on all week long, talking with all the individuals, meeting new people. You guys are just awesome. I cannot say enough. I love talking to you guys.
Even the people that disagree with us.
Yeah, well, I actually, there was 3.
Yeah.
3 in the entire time I've been doing this that actually said, well, I don't want your stuff here. Actually, what's funny is the last time that happened, I gained a friend and a new listener on the show.
Cool.
Yeah, which is awesome. Actually, thanks to that listener, they had posted an actual link to the next segment, which is dogfighting. I don't want to really do too much on it. I just want you guys.
You want to see a PO'd Sarah?
Yeah,
Let's talk about dogfighting.
I'm going to say this. Obviously, we can't go out there. We can't be, vigilantes and stop all this stuff. We don't want to put ourselves in harm's way. But if you're aware of a situation, if you hear of a dog fighting ring,
if you have a suspicion of animal abuse in general,
call your local police department. They will send out an investigator. They'll look into it. And here's really why. Not only are these animals being abused and killed, that is 100% off and wrong. But there's always children involved.
It seems like every time there's always children, and that's the way they can, perpetuate the system.
Yeah.
By raising their spawn.
Yep.
To do the same dang thing.
And it's so bad. Again, what are we against on this show? Animal abuse, child abuse, elder abuse, and battered women. I definitely don't tolerate any of them. But with this, this comes from Florida. It's
Orange County, Florida. I thought it was Orange County, California. I was like, what? That happened in my backyard?
Well, I'm pretty sure it has happened out there. This just happened this past Wednesday. It's Sunday where we're at right now. Of course, this episode releases on Monday or Tuesday. I haven't decided, but so almost a week ago, this happened, and children were around. They were present. And of course, we hear it all the time. There's always children. And if they're seeing animals being killed, they're not going to think that it's wrong to hurt an animal. Animals are just dumb, useless. What's the point? That's what we got to break, folks.
And another thing we got to break, too, is the stigmata that, if you call in animal abuse, that's not going to do anything. Yes, it does do something. They put these people on a no-buy list. Where they can't go to any shelters and get a dog. A dog fighting rink isn't going to go and buy a purebred, bully breed from a breeder and spend the ridiculous amount. They're going to go to shelters. They're going to find a dog that is a bully breed, and they're going to make them mean, because you can take any dog. Chihuahuas, I'm bit at work more by a Chihuahua
gosh, those dogs
and a
scare me.
Dachshund and small dogs more than I am of a Rottweiler, Pit Bull, Bulldog, any of them.
We do, of course, have caution to those dogs, because you never know what their owner can be like.
Exactly.
If they're new and you don't know them.
So, turn these people in. Report this.
Yeah.
I already know one person that was banned from ever, adopting a Pomeranian because they're, because of situations. So, it does do something.
Yeah, we're a post 9/11 era, and it's always, if you suspect something, report it. One of my backgrounds is terrorism, and one of the things that I had to go to a special class for was how to find these people, how to decipher if they're terrorists, all this other stuff. You have a very easy task. If you suspect it, call it, and if you call it in, if it comes up as nothing, you might find out that it was something else. Maybe it was dog hoarding or animal hoarding, which is also, it's a thing.
Yeah, there's, I know somebody, and I don't know this person, but, I spoke to somebody and they told me that they're trying to help these people get, their animals rehomed, or whether or not they're feral or what. But they're cat hoarders. They have all these cats who are not fixed, and they just keep multiplying.
Oh, yeah.
She goes in and she pays her own money.
Yeah, it's a TNR. She goes in, TNR.
She gets them neutered, spayed, whatever they need.
Well, actually, let me say this. TNR, I'm sorry. TNR is trap, neuter, release,
right,
is what it means.
So,
actually, we can mention Kim with P-Call. She's the one who does it. She is amazing at helping people. They actually call her. They want her, to help them out, and she helps out people all over the place.
Exactly.
And she gets so many calls, and so many people need her. We all actually, I can't think of a person that we don't need more than her, because she is just great in this town. She's great in neighboring towns. Actually, I just might as well just give her the Puptastic Award of the week for her work. But thinking about what you were talking about.
Exactly. So, pet hoarding is a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they make a show out of pet hoarding.
Yeah, there is actually.
And, their heart might be in the right place, but it's not right. I know this one house had to be demolished because the cats would pee on everything. And you walk in, people have to actually wear a mask.
Oh, wow.
And the owners of the house were so sick all the time, they didn't know why. Well, because when you go in, there's feces everywhere. Cats urinate on outlets. And they had to destroy the home and rebuild the foundation up.
Yeah.
So that is a thing. So if you suspect any of this, just call the animal shelter. You can stay completely anonymous and explain to them what you're seeing and how you feel that something's not right here.
Right. And, after I play this clip, you'll kind of get an understanding. It's a sad story. I watched the video. A lot of people were arrested. I mean, there was quite a lot. So sit back, and I'm going to put the report on right now.
And tonight at 5 o'clock, we are learning more about a major dog fighting ring that was busted in Apopka. Dozens of men and women arrested here. Fox 35's Kate Burgess live tonight to show us more of the takedown. Kate?
Well, yeah, the investigation here at the house is wrapped up, and those dogs are all being checked by Orange County Animal Services. The vets are evaluating their health and temperament after they were forced into a vicious dog fighting ring right here at this house.
Are any of these your dogs?
No.
Dozens of dogs, malnourished, wounded, and mistreated, rescued from this Apopka home in the middle of a dog fight.
We confiscated dogs last night that were laying in puddles of blood.
A 2-month investigation came to a head last night when Apopka police busted in after getting a tip this man, Adele Dawson, was running a dog fighting ring in his home.
I was just dancing, actually.
Fox 35 was there as one after the other was taken to jail. Police arrested 26 people, many from neighboring counties, who are now facing felony charges for animal cruelty and dogfighting.
It's deplorable. It's unimaginable. I cannot justify. There's nothing anybody will ever tell me that will justify conditioning one animal to attack and kill another animal for the pleasure of a person.
Orange County Animal Services pulled 24 pit bulls from this house, plus an armload of newborn puppies. Police say the ringleaders used raccoons and chickens to entice the dogs and make them more aggressive. The cops also found treadmills, punching bags, and whips used to train the dogs for the kill. Police say Dawson was also growing about 20 marijuana plants in his backyard. Some neighbors shocked to learn what was happening right behind these walls.
I had no idea that I was walking past here every day knowing that there's vicious dogs in the back.
As for the dogs, police don't know where all of them came from, and Animal Services is hoping some of their owners will come forward to claim them. Vets are assessing whether any of the animals can be saved or if they're simply too aggressive after months in the ring. Now, there were 2 children here watching that dogfight when the cops raided the house. Police say they were living in deplorable conditions. Those kids are now safe with their grandmother, and DCF is following up on their case. But police say their parents will likely face abuse or neglect charges. We're live in Apopka. Kate Burgess, Fox 35 News.
Well, as I had mentioned before, I mean, a real sad situation, really frustrating situation. Hopefully it will motivate you in the future if you actually hear about any of these rings. Maybe you'll put a stop to it. You know, and again, please, folks, please do not take a gun or an object of weapon. And I mean, when I say weapon, anything can be a weapon.
A hammer.
Yeah, please don't go down there and take it upon yourself. I mean, I know it sounds like a great idea, but the police, they're the ones who need to do this.
You don't want to be the one to screw up an investigation and the person gets off scot-free.
And you don't want to go away for murder or attempted murder. You know, I just want to make sure we're always spreading good information with a positive way of doing things, the right way.
Yeah, I know there was a dogfighting ring here in Rolla.
Yep.
That was broken up.
We were not aware of this.
Yeah,
we got to it late.
One of the people my mom works with lost her boxer a long time ago. And since then they got another dog because they just presumed that it was stolen. And, you know, a few months went by. And kind of find out they found the dog. The dog was used as bait.
Yep.
To rile up the other fighting dogs.
Speaking of bait, and I'm just going to put a bookmark on that. I did not know that they got raccoons and chickens to rile up dogs.
Anything that moves fast, that can show signs of aggression. Like, you know, a raccoon, if it gets in the middle of its fight or die, they're going to fight.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
And it's the same thing with the dog. I mean, this dog was so tore up. They did everything they could to save this dog from all the bait use that they had to just put the dog down.
Did they actually put it down, or did it just die?
They had to put it down.
They
there
did.
was just no way that this dog was going to survive. Well, it's oh my gosh, it gets my blood boiling.
Yeah.
Hearing this crap, and you know, a lot of the fighting dogs have to be put down. It's so bred into their head that they have to do this to survive.
Yeah.
That they cannot be rehabilitated.
Well, remember in the article, they actually were talking about there were pups, quite a lot of a couple litters, I think, and they were going to be raised within a short time to get in the ring, and you know. Of course, they're going to magnify that they were pit, and of course, that's the obvious choice.
And that makes me so mad.
Me too.
I'm going off on a rant right here. I am furious about these stupid ideals about pit bulls.
Oh, I am too.
The red nose, the blue nose, any of them. Okay? I've had many pit bulls growing up. You know, either I was around them or owned one. You know, Roxy's a lab pit bull mix.
Well, that's what got me is the picture. There was a photo of this ring. One of the dogs was looking up and looked just like Roxy. I mean, I honestly, I thought it was her.
Yeah, the red nose looking straight up. I almost start crying because if I thought of Roxy in a ring, I would die.
Well, yeah.
You know, so pit bulls aren't meant to do this. They are very loving and good, smart dogs. Very intelligent. Roxy knows to leave Claire alone.
Oh yeah.
You know, there was a couple points where Roxy looked at Claire when she was real young as a pup. And she treated Claire like a pup. Have you ever seen a puppy go up to a food bowl that's not theirs? They'll get nipped at.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm going to kill you. It's, hey, learn your lesson.
Right.
Get back. And you got to heed to the warnings. You know? So I don't trust any dog alone with Claire.
No.
Anything can happen. You can have the sweetest dog in the world, and something can happen.
Well, that's not like we would ever leave Claire alone, though. That's the best part.
Well, I meant like in a bedroom with the door shut and one of the dogs are in there. You know, that's not how it works here. Mm-hmm. Most attacks happen from parents or the owners having ignorance.
Right.
There was this one picture I saw where this kid was holding on to this pit bull. And I looked at that and I made sure to message the owner. You know, one of my friends a while ago. Dude, don't let your kid do that again.
Dude.
Oh, dude. I said, the dog is showing so many signs that can turn very bad. Oh, what? She hugs him all the time.
It was a stare down, wasn't it?
No, it was just a kid hugging, the neck of a dog.
Oh, okay.
I was like, do you not see the tense look that the dog has throughout his body? You know, the head down, eyes looking straight up, ears back. The dog was tense. It wasn't loose and, able to move. That kid could lean up against that dog and the dog's not going to move. That was tense.
Right.
And, when they're still, you gotta stop that. Those are terrible signs. And if the dog starts yawning obsessively or starts yawning, it's not because they're tired.
We say this, how often we mention this.
Exactly. It's not.
I love that we mention it all the time. I do.
So it's the owners that become moronic, and they are the reasons why we have such horrible pit bull laws.
Well, look at Roxy and I. We will play, and sometimes we'll play a little rough. I mean, she wants to play, and if you were passing by, you wouldn't know the difference because she'll kind of have that loud sound to her.
And she can jump a couple
and
feet
she
up
jumps
high.
up at me, and
Even the fat girl that she is.
Yep, and she pushes on me, and she'll make that growl kind of sound. But the moment I say enough, sit, that's it. The game's over. There's no, oh, I'm still gonna go. I'm still in attack mode. It's sit, and it is an amazing transformation from a dog that, honestly, if you saw it, you would think, oh gosh, I wonder what's going on there.
We had to take Roxy and pull her away from my brother.
Yeah. When we say we have 3 rescues, we mean we have 3 rescues.
Exactly. We had to pull Roxy away from my brother and try to retrain her.
Yep.
Beforehand, she would just take off out of our yard. If she slipped leash, she was gone.
Well, that was it. She would, when she was on leash, she was terrible.
Cats,
yep.
She would do everything. She was just, and then when it came to any kind of ball, she was highly aggressive.
And we're talking about those big giant balls that you buy at Walmart
for kids,
or Target.
You bounce back and
yep.
forth.
She popped. Claire had, I think, 5 or 6 in a course of a summer because she always wanted one, and we always got her one, even though she had them at home. Roxy popped.
She didn't have this
everyone.
color. She didn't have that color.
Yep.
So.
She had every color in the rainbow, and Roxy ended up popping every single one.
Well, now what we can do, since we've helped rehabilitate her, is that go outside and you kick the soccer ball back and forth with Claire. Roxy gets excited when it comes to you and wants to get the ball from you.
Yeah, we're playing soccer.
But when the ball goes to Claire, she doesn't go anywhere near Claire with that ball.
Well, the difference is that Roxy and I can play, and there's that level of we're going to play.
Exactly.
But there's the level of I can't get near the kid because I'm not allowed to. That kid is protected by master. I won't go. And it is a great transformation. Plus, here's a dog that can go out in our yard without a leash. Doesn't need one. She's that well trained.
And she focuses on us.
Oh yeah, and all you have to do is say house. That's the command word for our dogs. We say house. Every one of the dogs stops, turns in whatever direction the house is, and walks right in the house immediately.
Yeah, they wait patiently while we open the screen doors, since the screen doors are a pain in the butt to open.
Yeah.
And they go right on in.
Now,
problem,
again, there's people like Jessie Queen, who was in our earlier episodes. She's a great dog trainer. I don't know her methods. I personally, I don't have a great deal of training in this. It was just love and compassion. So if you're having problems with your dog in any way, and it's not going to listen to you, definitely take it to an actual professional.
Well, see, and the problem is people not wanting to do that, and they give the pit bulls a bad name. I mean, the owners that have to deal with the laws, I'm going to call them stupid. The stupid laws.
Yeah.
I am not for this. I read this, I flipped out.
You really did. You really did.
I was steaming for a long time. But the St. James, our neighboring
county.
Town. No, they're still in
Oh, that's right. They are. They are.
Town.
I'm sorry. This county is so big and so dense. There's just nothing. There's
So,
not a lot. Just a lot of trees.
People have to have $50,000 worth of bodily injury or death insurance for their dog. Their dog cannot leave property without a muzzle. They're pit bull or the bully breeds. Okay, so that's like Rottweiler and such. So they can't. They have to leave with a muzzle on.
Well, that's not that's not going to give it in its comfort zone is going to be muzzle on. So you're just training a dog that if the muzzle's on, I have to be good. If muzzle's off,
I can do whatever
I can do whatever I want. Exactly. You're just you're actually making a problem.
You're making a dog more aggressive.
This is why politics doesn't work.
Because I know one person that brought their dog in for grooming put a muzzle on the dog because it chewed up their car. So now I'm grooming this dog. It's being aggressive. It thinks it could chew on everything, people too. But I put that muzzle on, it calms down, stands up, and it is still.
It's like a binky for it.
Exactly. Just like the comfort zone. It's terrible. Well, not only do they have to wear a muzzle out, the house has to have a fenced-in yard with a lock on it that the dog cannot scale. And
what was the feet? Was it 8 or 10?
I can't remember.
It was a lot. Sure. It was
pretty
taller than me by a good margin.
So.
I was like,
I'm
whoa.
not quite sure on that part, but I know that you have to have a sign up saying that there is a pit bull on property. So that's starting off people with not racism and bias, I guess. And
I like the idea of using racism for it because you're racist to a certain animal breed.
I guess, yeah.
Well, I mean, why can't it be? There you go.
Going through the roof. So you have to have it, out. When you're away, I guess you're supposed to put them in a crate and have it locked.
How is this not animal abuse?
I don't know.
I mean, personally, I'm sorry, but
it's better this way than not having them at all.
Well, there is actual counties, or I don't know if it's counties, but I know there's towns not that far out of here that it's a no pit bull zone.
Yes, and Colorado's the same way. You can't have any kind of bully breeds in Colorado.
That's right.
And if they catch one, they kill it.
I mean,
they don't go and try to rehome it or find another spot. No, they go and kill it.
Which, folks, come on. I mean, you've got to be looking around going, why? I mean, this is what we're worried about. I mean, our elected officials are doing things like this where's the good positive change that we need?
Well, why is it a child molester can go free after a little bit, and yet a dog who nips at a kid or bites a kid, who will heal, yes, they might have some mental scarring, but who will heal, the dog gets put down. The dog will get put down if, God forbid, a person is killed from a dog. But you have murderers out there who live free, or not really free, but they still live.
They're on
taking our tax
they're on
dollars.
a list. They're on that.
Some don't have penalties or death penalties here. I know Missouri does, but
I just look at it. I mean, personally,
how's it okay? How's it okay that someone can go molest, rape a child, screw them up for their entire life, and still get out to be free after so many years, but yet a dog growls, nips, bites, but there's no death there. Just bites them. Dog has to be put down right away. That child molester has it in them. They're gonna go do it again. It's been proven. There's very few cases that person's not gonna go out and do it again. That rapist isn't gonna go out and do it again. Very few. So, come on. Well, I understand.
There's a lot.
Human life. Yes, I'm sorry, but if my house is burning down, I can only save Katana or Claire. I'm saving Claire.
Well, yeah.
So human life does have a little more value than a dog's life.
Well, some dogs, though, would run out. I mean, our dogs, I can guarantee, they'll follow us out like a shadow.
Exactly, but I'm just saying that's how I feel.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I'm with you on it. I mean, it's we're kind of making negative movements when it comes to animal laws, and are really only hurting.
There could have been better laws, like if you're caught with XYZ. Or if you like.
No, I'm gonna give you the best one I've noticed locally. Now, of course, look, we're from Southern California. I lived on the other side of the Hollywood sign in the San Fernando Valley for most of my life. Moved to Orange County, so I knew what LA life was and South LA life, which is like a 40-minute drive. We could never drive. I mean, and we're kids that grew up during the pager era, where we didn't have cell phones. A beeper was what we had, and then when we got to be of age to drive, the cell phones started to come out. Okay, that's great and all, but we learned right off the bat. I mean, it was almost an immediate. If you drive, you have to have an earpiece. We've lived out here for 4 years. I still see people driving, whether it's a small compact car or a big truck, with a phone up to their ear. I just was leaving work on Friday, and an elderly lady, no joke, was driving her car, cut right, and made her turn where she shouldn't have, with a phone up to her ear. Come on, folks. It just drives me nuts. I mean, we went to Chicago 5 years ago. I think it was 5. Yeah, it was 5 years ago, and I was on the phone, but I had an earpiece in. You remember this. We get in an elevator, and we had people from Boston in the elevator with us, and they looked at me, what are you doing? And Sarah mentioned, well, he's on the phone. He's got an earpiece in. Why? It's just, it's easier to talk on the phone with one. It's just, these are laws that, when they come into place, they made sense. May not have made sense at the time, but they really worked. These animal laws.
It's just from stupid people being stupid.
But the point is that animal laws are just dumb. These are some bad laws. Now, I'm sure we probably will hear somebody send us a message saying, here's an animal law that actually does work. I'm sure they're not all stupid, but it seems like the ones that keep coming across our way, what kind of moment?
Well, see, it just makes me mad with these pit bull dogs, the bully breeds, especially pit bulls, and St. James. They actually single out pit bulls.
Is it Waynesville that actually, or is it Pulaski that no pit bulls?
No, Edgar Springs. I think they're doing that in Edgar Springs. But anywho, you have to register your dog. Now in California, your dogs have to be registered too. But my problem with registering dogs, it's like registering a gun. this is kind of off point, but
Oh, I'm always off point.
I am an avid supporter of gun rights, and
there goes half of our listener base. Great,
but,
thanks, Sarah.
You know, my dad taught me how to properly use a weapon. You know, what they're intended for.
Well, again, no. Anything can be a weapon.
Exactly.
A fork can be a weapon.
You know, more people are killed by hammers and stuff like that than guns. But there was a statistic done in 2011. Anyhow,
I'll give you a statistic. A fork, obesity, heart disease. You know, where's it going to end?
So, you know, he taught me how to properly use a weapon. And we used it for fun. We would take it out, you know, to the range. And, you know, because we did abide by the laws, you know, we had to take it to the range. Okay, so we honed in on our skills, and we got to talk to other avid supporters. It was fun. You know, I don't look at guns as, oh my gosh, you know, this thing's going to just jump up on its own 2 feet and kill me.
It's going to put a bullet in its chamber, cock it, and shoot me.
Exactly.
This
can be used as one or two things.
Makes me think of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
So, I respect the weapons. The ones we have now, they're rifles, so they're not. They don't need to be registered. They're not handguns. But if the government ever wanted to take away all of our handguns completely, they know exactly where to go because they're registered.
Right.
So you have no rights whatsoever. It's the same thing with the dog. You can use a dog one of two ways. You can use it as a fun
companion. Which, yeah.
Or you can use it as a deadly weapon.
And again, here's a big thing though. Animals are wild. They're all wild. They were wild long time ago. So now it's like we made them actual pets. They still have that side in them, but
you can bring out the deadly part.
Yeah.
You can. And people have done this and they still do it.
Yep.
That's where you get the dog fighting rings.
Yep.
But you can train a dog to be one of two ways. Really good, but protective of your family.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a gun. You can use your gun as something fun.
You just can't go play fetch with a gun.
Exactly. Or you can use it for protection, or you can use it for evil things and to hurt people. Well, same thing with registering your dog. All because you're good with your dog and you trained your dog right away, and the dog's doing good obedience classes, it's never attacked and never hurt a fly, the government can still come and take that dog away. Doesn't matter if it's good or not, and totally put it down.
Here's the funny part, though. You know this. It's like all laws, especially like this. If you're bad, and there's a law saying you have to register it, the bad people won't register. It's the good people that register, and yet these things will still happen because the bad person, well, they're not going to follow the law.
You can try to take every gun out of every home. There's still going to be bad people out there who can get them.
Oh, yeah.
So
I have this discussion with my mom all the time, though.
It's the same way with the dogs. You can take away all of the breeds. You're still going to have a few that are going to hide them somehow.
Yep.
Or try to make them look a different way.
Yep.
And, people can go as far as cropping the dog's tail and calling it, a boxer mix. You can do many different things to disguise the breed of your dog. And it just infuriates me.
Well, obviously, we've been talking about it.
I know, sorry.
We can go about this for the rest of the day.
Rant's over, I guess.
Well, we're making our episodes a little longer because we're trying just to release one episode a week.
With our work as busy as we are, I don't see another time we're going to be able to do another episode until
next weekend. Yeah.
Because when we get home, Chris washes my dogs. I groom them. But we are both dog tired.
Oh, man. I remember just Thursday alone. Oh, gosh. Oh, that was a rough one. We were just
And so since we are both working so much, and, luckily with Chris washing the dogs, I can groom more. So we're taking in more dogs each day, and we're at the height of our season.
Yep.
Just
plus, it's like we get home and then it's like we got to take care of Claire, give her as much energy out.
Dinner and do laundry.
Well,
some kind of cleaning.
Sometimes I cook. I cook too.
Yeah, you cook tonight, which is nice. But just hold on, folks. We'll get another episode released in a week. It's just I know Tuesday's going to be terrible. I know we have 6 morning dogs.
I have. Oh, is that this Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh
no,
boy.
I have my 3, and you have 2.
Oh gosh, and they're not small either, folks.
So 5 morning dogs that we have both together.
Well, with the size of my 2 alone, you can add at least 4 to what my number will be on those.
So it's going to be a challenging week, which I love it. Bring it on. We love what we do. We love handling the dogs. We love being around the dogs. And we love being at work. Very few people. I'm sorry, folks, that if you don't like your job, I am terribly sorry. But
hey, I didn't like a lot of my jobs over my life, so
I've been blessed.
I know.
My first job was a security job. Hated it. And then my second job, paid job, was starting out as a bather, working myself to a groomer. And I know I said this many times. I don't want to do anything else with my life. I love it. And, the tax lady tells us I can't believe how much you make. I'm like, well, when you love what you do, you try to do more of it. And, got our nighttime to be with our daughter, the weekend. Sometimes she comes into work and hangs out with us.
I will say the scheduling is a lot easier than some things. I mean, it was better than my schedule last year.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're there anywhere between 8 and 8:30. Yep. And we don't leave till 5:30. So we have longer than Baker's hours. And then if you can take lunch, try to take lunch.
Yeah, we're talking about a cup of noodle, and you're just kind of going, maybe I have enough time to finish it today.
Yeah, I've known times where working at the big box pet store, it was so busy, and we went against protocol, completely against protocol. But somebody did a food run, and everybody would pay for the person who's running to get the food since they're taking their half-hour lunch for it. And we'll be in the back while someone is blow drying a dog. We're scarfing down food. How we digest it, I have no clue, because everybody's like, one right after.
You were eating clouds. That's what it was.
It was
Box of clouds. Yeah, that must have been it. With a side of soda. Oh, a side of rainbow. That's what it was.
I don't know how we did it, but we're just sitting there chomping down, and someone's blow drying or someone's washing, dogs barking, someone's picking up poo or something. But grooming is an amazing life. I love it. Absolutely love it. So, week is busy. We'll get the episode next weekend. Hopefully air it Monday or Tuesday of next week, too.
Yeah, we'll try to keep them a week in advance. Each week we'll try to do it 1 week, and then 1 week from that same day. So, this probably will come out Monday.
And I got to get on Keith. He's got to do another dog food episode. We've gotten new dog food into the shop.
Yep.
That I'm excited about. Can't wait till he gets time to, do the
Maybe
episode.
we'll be able to get him to do it this week, and then we can maybe release an extra episode this week.
Yeah, we gotta see if we have time. And he has time, because boarding's going crazy, too.
Yeah, the whole place has been so busy. All right, folks. It has, as always, been fun. And we hope that actually you stuck with us for the 108 or the hour and 18 minutes. I always read.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys.
Well, like I said, I mean, I showed you some other podcasts. I mean, they usually range
2 hours.
Yeah, there are, and those are daily ones. Yeah. Can you imagine that? Oh gosh, how hard would it be to put the content for that? All right, folks. I'm Chris Green. It's been a blast. Have a good and fun puptastic week.
And I'm Sarah Green, making sure everybody knows life is short. Play with your pet.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, gotta go in my bedtime.